everyone, I'm DIY Deborah, and welcome to my channel, where we'll be covering food, recipes, lifestyle, and DIY, specializing in gluten and dairy-free. If this is something that you enjoy, please come along with me.
Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. With it being fall, that brings upon us apple picking season, and with it being apple picking season means so many yummy delicious recipes made from your favorite apples, and even better if you pick them yourself. So follow along and let's make something yummy out of some delicious apples.
So we're going to be starting off by peeling and coring 2 pounds of apples. That's equivalent to 5 large or 7 small of your favorite apple. Now for this recipe you can use Granny Smith, Cortland, Honeycrisp, Macintosh apples. The only apple variety that wouldn't be suitable for this recipe is Red Delicious. We're then going to take 1/3 cup of maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of water, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now I will include this recipe in the description box below so that if you want to go ahead and make this yourself, you can. Now this recipe is gluten and dairy free, but you can substitute using the ingredients that meet your dietary requirements or whatever your favorites happen to be. I'm then going to be adding the freshly squeezed lemon juice from 1/2 of a lemon. If you happen to enjoy this content, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload new videos. Doing all the YouTubey things really helps support my channel. I'm then going to be adding 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon and 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. You can also add nutmeg if you like, or any of whatever your favorite apple pie kind of spices that you enjoy. Then I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of tapioca starch. Now you can add any gluten-free starch here, whether it be tapioca starch, corn starch, arrowroot starch. Any of those will be suitable to keep this recipe gluten-free. So once we've added our tapioca starch and all of our spices, we're going to combine really well. Once we've combined everything really well, we're going to set the apples aside while we make the topping. Have you guessed what we're making yet? Have you figured it out? Yep, we're making some fabulous gluten-free, dairy-free apple crisp. Perfect to enjoy this fall season. So to make our topping, we're going to start off with 1/2 cup of almond meal or almond flour, 1 cup of gluten-free rolled oats, 1/4 cup of coconut sugar or firmly packed brown sugar. We're then going to add 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. Next we add 1/4 cup of a plant-based butter or margarine. And then, last but not least, 1/4 cup of plant-based yogurt. Here I'm using coconut vanilla yogurt. We are then going to take a spoon and combine our ingredients really well until it is mixed and kind of wet and crumbly, and then we're going to set aside and put everything in our saucepan and get ready to put in the oven. Hopefully at this point, if I haven't already mentioned it, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So then we are going to take a small casserole dish, and first off we're going to spray with some olive oil cooking spray as to ensure that everything will come out of the pan nice and flawlessly and won't be all sticky. We're then going to place our apple mixture into the bottom of the pan, and once we've done that, we're going to take our apple crisp topping and top it onto the apples. We will then spread our apple crisp topping with a fork or a spoon and pat it firmly onto the top of the apples. We're then going to be taking our small casserole dish and placing it into the oven. Place it in the middle of the rack. I don't think, because this is in a saucepan with a lid, you will need to put a baking dish or a baking pan underneath it so that it'll bubble over. But to err on the cautious side, if you want, place this on top of a baking pan so nothing spills into the bottom or bubbles over into the bottom of your oven. So you will let this apple crisp bake in your oven for approximately 40 minutes at 350 degrees. Then you're going to carefully take out, don't forget to wear your oven mitt, and you will get to see this absolutely delicious. Oh my gosh, I wish we had smell-o-vision, but there it is. Beautiful, gluten-free, dairy-free apple crisp. Doesn't that look good? Let your apple crisp cool for 5 or 10 minutes, then spoon a couple of heaping spoonfuls into the bottom of a bowl and top with delicious plant-based vanilla ice cream. Here I'm using coconut vanilla made by President's Choice, and this is so delicious, you guys. If you happen to make this recipe, please let me know in the comments down below. It turned out so good. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you soon, friends. Bye-bye.